Hey guys, so it's been a while since I posted any kind of video or done any kind of live excerpt, but as some of you may or may not know, the fourth installment in my ritual series just came out on Halloween, so it was about a week ago, and I'm really excited about it. I think it turned out pretty good. I wanted to do an excerpt reading today, just to I want to get back in the habit of doing more live videos for you guys, maybe writing tips, maybe excerpts. I actually asked around on my Facebook and Twitter before deciding to make this video what kind of things you guys would want to see me talk about, because I'm hoping to be more regular on YouTube, because that's about the only platform I don't really touch, so hopefully this will change it. Okay, so today I want to read an excerpt from chapter 19. And you might be thinking, well, why not the beginning? Well, I really think this series is complicated. There's just a lot of subplots, a lot of characters, but the main focus of the first three books was on Luna and Chance, and I think this excerpt that I'm about to share with you guys really kind of sums up their relationship pretty good. Okay. The discovery broke Luna down only for a minute, but then she was on her feet again, determination surging through her. If the footsteps were that fresh, Amanda still had to be close by, and if she was, Luna would find her. Ears alert for the slightest sound, Luna stormed through the forest, smacking away branches and crunching leaves beneath her feet. The trees were thick, the maze of foliage even worse with the knowledge that Amanda could have gone anywhere. Luna's energy started to drain, but she refused to stop. But she wouldn't, not when she was so close. I'll rest when I'm dead, she vowed, laughed at the irony of her own statement to distract herself, and pushed onward. She couldn't admit defeat. Rugged breaths tore through her chest, but she forced herself to ignore it even when the wheezing made her eyes water. Knees buckling, she forced her shaky steps onward, wishing she had spent more of her life exercising. There are some things that not even Dreamworld can do. Finally, the pain in her chest and legs won out, and she collapsed to her knees before sinking completely to the ground, burying her face in her hands with an audible sob that rang around the clearing. The thought of how close she had come to getting Asher back stung worse than any physical pain she had endured, and that included being stabbed. She was ready to curl up on the forest floor and let whatever found her claim her. After all, she was fighting an unwinnable war. Even though she didn't want to admit it out loud, part of her could understand why Chance said they needed a plan, why he wasn't willing to barge in, guns blazing. There must have been a time, way back when he had tried just that and met the same crippling sadness that she did now. Footsteps sounded nearby, and she lifted her head as a hand grasped her shoulder. Her heart quickened, sensing danger, before she realized it was Chance. Lucky for me, I guess, since he already has claim on me. "What are you doing out here?" he murmured, running a finger across the curve of her cheek as he crouched beside her. I had to find him," she whispered, breaking eye contact as she slumped her head back to the cold earth. Chance sighed, circling around her prone form until she could see him. "We talked about this," he said, and grasped her elbow with one hand and her ribs with the other, helping her sit up gently as he could manage. "Yeah, but you don't understand," she said, staring down at the ground. Even the noticeable twig in her hair didn't draw her attention. "Then fill me in," he urged, wiping the leaves and debris free from her raven locks before pushing her hair aside to catch a glimpse of the side of her face. "I found Amanda, or rather where she was staying. She has Asher," Luna replied, eyes on the ground. Chance searched her face, using his fingers to push her head back up every time her gaze dropped to the ground. "And?" "She was gone. Maybe 10 minutes before I got there. Asher's bottle was still warm. I followed the trail, but I lost it in the woods, and You did what you could," Chance said, rubbing a soothing hand across her back. No, I didn't. If I did, I would have found them," she argued. "And you did, just not in the manner you wanted." Luna frowned, hating the certainty of his voice, hating him. She wanted him to go away, to be replaced with someone, anyone, who could understand her, her desperate need to pull this off. "We have to go, she can't be too far. I have to find her," she grunted, struggling to free herself from his grip. Her legs didn't obey her, bare feet sliding in the mud, and Luna didn't think the moment could get any worse until she looked at Chance and saw the pity in his eyes. Chance smiled bitterly, holding on just a bit tighter to stop her struggle as he shook his head. Luna, stop. You're exhausted. She froze, slumping against him as she stared into his eyes. I don't care, Chance. It doesn't matter. Nothing does. Chance clenched his jaw as he pulled her to her feet. Yes, it does. What do you think you're proving by pushing yourself like this? Luna pursed her lips. There was no way to explain it, not to anyone who didn't already understand. For the largest portion of her life, she had felt as if she didn't matter, a possession to someone else rather than a human being. She was her father's daughter. She was Max's friend. She was always somebody's something. But this would give her a chance to change her title to something that mattered. Mother. The only time her mother had dared to call her as much, Luna had nearly lost her mind. But now she craved it, craved anything that would make her meaningless existence feel as if it had some point. Come on, let's get you home. You need to rest, Chance said, brushing a hand across her shoulders to remove the clinging dirt. No. Chance narrowed his eyes. What do you mean, no? I don't need to go home, she said, feeling the spit build at the corners of her mouth. I need to find her. So, again, if you haven't read these books, they are available on Amazon. Just a warning, though, this is probably the darkest series that I've ever written. I know a lot of people have read maybe the first and second one and then quit on it because it's too dark, but it is what it is. But thank you guys for watching this video, and like I said, hopefully more to come soon. Peace.